Have you ever wondered how we went from scattered groups of early humans to building the world's first great cities and empires? What were the secrets that sparked the rise of ancient civilizations, turning simple societies into powerful, complex worlds? Today we're diving into the turning points that lit the fuse of human progress. From the dawn of agriculture to the birth of the first cities like Uruk and the grandeur of ancient Egypt. Get ready to uncover the origins of human ambition, innovation, and the drive to create something lasting. This is the story of how civilization truly began. Welcome back to our journey through the evolution of human civilization. In our last episode, we explored the origins of humanity, from the first upright steps of Australopithecus to the tool-making Homo habilis. Today, we step into a new chapter, the first sparks, rise of ancient civilizations. Imagine a world where the spark of human ingenuity ignites not just survival, but the birth of societies, communities that would lay the foundations for everything we know today. Our story begins around 12,000 years ago, when something extraordinary happened. After millions of years as hunter-gatherers, small groups of humans stumbled upon a revolutionary idea: agriculture. Imagine the profound shift from roaming the vast wilderness in search of food to planting seeds and cultivating the land. This was more than just a new way to eat. It was a new way to live. Settling down meant stability, and stability meant growth. With farms, early humans could produce surplus food, which allowed communities to grow larger and more complex. Villages sprang up, and with them came new challenges and opportunities. Picture the first farmers working the soil, building homes, and raising families, all centered around this newfound ability to control their food supply. This was the spark that would eventually ignite the rise of civilizations. As these villages grew, some of them transformed into the world's first cities. One of the earliest and most remarkable was Uruk in ancient Mesopotamia. Imagine stepping into Uruk over 5,000 years ago, a sprawling city surrounded by massive walls, with thousands of people living, trading, and worshiping together. It wasn't just the size of these cities that was impressive, it was the complexity. Think of these cities as giant beehives buzzing with activity. There were craftsmen, traders, priests, and rulers, each playing a role in the city's success. For the first time, humans weren't just surviving, they were thriving. They built temples, developed writing, and started to record their history. Writing, particularly, was a game changer. It allowed people to communicate across time and space, keeping track of laws, trade, and stories. This was the beginning of recorded history, and it all started here in these ancient urban centers. But why here? Why did these civilizations spring up in these particular places? The answer lies in the rivers. Mesopotamia had the Tigris and Euphrates, Egypt had the Nile, and the Indus Valley civilization thrived along the Indus River. These rivers were like the lifeblood of these early societies. They provided water for drinking, farming, and transportation. Imagine the rivers as ancient highways, carrying goods, people, and ideas from one place to another. Rivers made the land fertile, allowing these civilizations to grow food abundantly. But they also posed challenges: floods, droughts, and the need for organized irrigation. This need for management led to the development of early governments and the rise of powerful leaders who could coordinate large groups of people. Picture ancient engineers carefully planning canals and dikes to control the water, and you'll see the early seeds of government and social structure being planted. Let's zoom in on one of the most iconic ancient civilizations, Egypt. Along the Nile, the Egyptians built a civilization that still captures our imagination today. The Nile was predictable, flooding like clockwork and depositing rich silt that made the land incredibly fertile. But Egypt's story wasn't just about agriculture. It was about ambition. The pharaohs, seen as god kings, embarked on projects that would last millennia, most famously the pyramids. Imagine thousands of workers, not slaves but paid laborers, toiling in the hot sun to build these massive structures, all to honor their gods and secure their place in the afterlife. The Egyptians didn't just build monuments, they built a legacy. Their advances in writing, medicine, and architecture laid the groundwork for future civilizations. They were one of the first to codify laws, create a centralized government, and establish a system of taxation, all hallmarks of a sophisticated society. On the other side of the world, another civilization was flourishing, the Indus Valley civilization. This society, which included cities like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, was remarkable for its advanced urban planning. Imagine streets laid out in perfect grids, advanced drainage systems, and standardized weights and measures for trade. The Indus people were master planners, creating cities that were as efficient as they were beautiful. Yet despite their achievements, the Indus Valley civilization remains one of history's great mysteries. Their script has never been fully deciphered, and much of their culture remains unknown. But what we do know is that they were highly sophisticated, engaging in trade with distant lands, including Mesopotamia. This interconnectedness shows that even in these early days, civilizations were not isolated. They were part of a growing network of human society. So what's the legacy of these first sparks of civilization? They were more than just the first cities or the first governments. They were the first to ask the big questions. How do we live together? How do we organize society? How do we make sense of the world? The answers they came up with, laws, writing, trade, and governance, are still with us today, evolving and adapting to new challenges. From the bustling streets of Uruk to the grand pyramids of Egypt and the mysterious cities of the Indus Valley, these early civilizations laid the foundations for everything that came after. They were the first chapters in a book that we are still writing today, a testament to the enduring power of human ingenuity and community. Join us next time as we continue our journey through the evolution of human civilization. We'll explore how ancient Greece, Rome, and China shaped the classical world and set the stage for the next great leaps in human history. Until then, remember, every skyscraper started with a single brick, and every civilization began with a